Okay, good afternoon. Just a quick injury update. Um, Justin continues to work with the trainers. Will still be week to week, but he is improving. And until he gets back healthy, Tyson will be our quarterback for now. So that's where that is. The next update I have for you is a little bit unique, right? And it's a little bit different, that explaining this, but let me try to do the best I can. So Jaquan Brisker, right? So we've been reporting that he was been ill for a week. So Sunday, Monday, he checked out fine with evaluation and with independent neurologist, being cleared from concussion, right? So he was all set. Then Tuesday reported that he was ill, right, and had a fever, and that persisted through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday. Brought him into the building, right? So he was in here then. And then still not feeling well. We ruled him out on Saturday, and then again wasn't feeling well. And then his illness, cleared. Saturday, then Sunday he felt he was cleared in terms of his illness, and then still felt a little bit off, in terms of having different like symptoms and those types of things. So we got him reevaluated, and then now he's back into concussion protocol, and that was on Sunday. Wasn't feeling well, and then Monday this morning. We got him tested again, and he's now back in concussion protocol. So that's where it is. I understand that's unique. I've never had that happen before, but again, he got ill during that process, and then when he was done being ill, then he still had the symptoms. And we were working with Jaquan the whole way, talking to him, making sure he was squared away. And the most important thing is our players' safety and health. And Jaquan did a very good job of communicating with us, and the training staff did a really good job too of seeing this thing all the way through. So other than that, Braxton Jones 21-day window. We'll see where that is this week. And with that, I'll open up to questions.
Do you have any reason for concern on Edmonds and his knee?
We'll see where it is. We got to really evaluate it over the next couple days, and we'll see where he is on that.
It seemed like it was really scary in the moment. It seemed like he avoided the worst case scenario.
Yeah, it seemed that way. But again, he came back and played a few plays, and that's always a good sign, but we'll see.
Is Braxton on pace to practice in full where he was limited last week? Is that the progression?
We're going to see where he is. We would like to get him out there this week, and we'll see where he is. We got to reevaluate him day to day, but we're hopeful that he'll get out there this week.
To be clear, is Justin Fields out against New Orleans?
Yes,
he is out.
Against New Orleans. Yes, sir.
Has Justin started trying to grip the football, throw it yet, or?
He's progressing. I can just say that. I'm not going to get into particulars, but he is progressing and he is improving. So we like where it is right now.
You guys have had so many people on IR this year.
Yeah.
That, I'm curious whether your decisions on Justin or Nate Davis had anything to do with the fact that it's a numbers game in terms of how many people you can bring back. Did that play a role in whether or not to move them to IR?
I don't think so. We just really look at it and see if the guy can get back within the time frame. So that's what we look at.
With Justin in particular, is there a benefit of having him not go to IR just for his own motivation to come back, for what he can do to help you guys, or to maybe be around a little bit more or something like that?
I would say really just from him, it's a week to week thing. So we're hopeful that he's coming back, before that time frame. But that's really what it was.
And that remains the hope still.
Yep, absolutely.
Why are you not practicing on Wednesday? Why is that a walk?
Yeah, so
normal.
Yep, absolutely. I'll explain that. So it's really just a plan all along. So when you go on a trip out west, and then you come back, the rest and recovery is a little bit disturbed, and then you have this game. It's a noon game, another travel game, and then you have that Thursday game, the quick turnaround. So it's really about rest, recovery, and keeping our guys fresh. Based on travel, based on time, and those types of things. And that's been our plan since day one, all the way back when we were in training camp.
Matt, when you went back and watched the film, what was the biggest issue with the offense lacking a rhythm and flow that it had against the Raiders?
Yeah, it's when you look at that, I thought there was some rhythm and flow at times, but it's just you can't have mistakes. I thought during the 2-minute mechanics at the end, I thought there was some good rhythm and flow there. That's what I'm referring to. But obviously, to start the game, there wasn't that. And we got to do a good job of just operating in that moment We get that explosive play, and then we just got to make sure we get ourselves in the kick line so we at least get 3 and don't take those negative plays.
What did the film show you from just the missed tackles that we saw?
Just what I saw. I mean, I've seen ball a lot of years, 32 years of coaching football, and I've seen it. I've seen when it looks right, and I've seen it when it's just a little bit off. And it's about having the vision. If you're in zone, and then the breaking on the quarterback's arm, and having the angles, and being able to close that space. We call it make daylight evaporate. And we've done a good job of that the last couple of weeks. And we take pride in that. We really work at it. So it's been good the last couple of weeks, but it's got to be improved from the first half.
Matt Kmet was saying that he didn't think the physicality was there on offense like it was against the Raiders. Did you see that after watching the tape last night?
I thought there was some good physicality. I thought there were some good finishes. I know Tevin had some good finishes. I know Darnell had some good ones. Lucas is always getting down the field. I thought our blocking on the perimeter was solid at times. But we just got to work on just as a group finishing, and again, the run numbers weren't where they were, it's because of where the game was, a lot of that, so we got into a pass game a little bit more into the middle of the third into the fourth, so the numbers weren't there.
Matt?
Go ahead.
Matt, along those lines, teams aren't going to play well every week. You know that. But the foundation of your whole system is the HITS principle: hustle, intensity, aggression, physicality. It frankly doesn't seem to be there every week. It doesn't seem to have taken with this team as maybe it did with the Colts. I don't know why, but it just doesn't seem like you're getting it every week. Where win or lose, you're all out and going all out. Is that an issue for you? Are you concerned that it's just not taking like it usually does?
Yeah, I would disagree with that. I would say that it is there every week. The effort, and the intensity is there. I would say that we have to do a better job of playing complementary football together, and also just being on the details of the angles, the tackling, and again we just got to keep improving. And I know the effort's there, and I know the intensity's there. You can see that, and we certainly fought in that game yesterday, all the way to the end, and we didn't get the 4th down tries that we wanted to get ourselves back in that game. Defensively, we didn't do a good enough job getting those 3rd down stops early in the 3rd quarter. They end up, chewing off about 7 minutes of the clock because they got a couple of 3rd downs. And to me, that's about the detail and just us executing better.
Do you think you guys will be active at the deadline tomorrow?
That's up to Ryan and his crew. And certainly they look at everything, and we'll see what happens.
What lessons, as a first-year head coach last year, did you learn from how you had to deal with the Roquan trade, the Quinn trade? You get Claypool back.
Mm-hmm.
There were some players who said at the end of the year, some defensive players that said, well, when you traded Roquan and Quinn, that really kind of sucked the life out of us. How did you handle that? And is there a danger at the deadline of, if you swap out too many things that it can go sideways? Yeah,
I know that our locker room's close, and they're like brothers, and it's a very tight group. They have real good relationships with each other, and they spend time with each other. So if you ever end up trading somebody, for example, like last year we did, and certainly this year because we're real tight this year, and I would just say that it's hurtful. It's like, wow, this guy or that guy. So you got to be ahead of it. If you're going to do that, you have to be ahead of it and explain to the players why and what happened, and making sure ahead of time, the best you can. But that's what we learned.
There's a lot of intrigue about Bagent coming in 2 weeks ago, and he had the one good game and not so great. Where is he right now in your mind? What's his status? Where do you think he is after one good game, one not so good game?
Yeah, I mean, there's some solid points in the game yesterday. Obviously the first game, it was good, and what was different was the takeaways, right? So we got to do a good job of protecting the ball, right, and being on the positive side or the even side of that battle, the turnover battle, and that was really the difference. I still think he delivered the ball well. I thought he did, took some shots down the field, which we didn't see in the first game, which was exciting to see. And we're going to continue to stretch the field vertically and horizontally.
But do you think yesterday was a little bit, and I hate to call it a wake-up call, but just an alarm that to your other players that this guy needs more support? I mean, he needs everything going. He needs the wind at his back more as an undrafted rookie guy that maybe you wouldn't have seen 2 weeks ago because everything went right. You were at home and things went better.
Yeah, I mean,
Yesterday, a little bit of a difference, you know,
sure, but right, I would say, Mark, I would say that's more of a team thing. You know, it was more of a team thing. So when you look at, you know, the Washington game or the Vegas game or those games like that, to me, you're playing complementary football the entire time, right? You're playing good defense, you're taking the ball away, you're getting drives, you're converting on third downs on offense, and that wasn't that way yesterday. You know, so to point just to the quarterback there, that's not. And your point,
I'm saying.
your point well taken though, is that it takes everybody. And I always tell those guys, it's all of us and it will take all of us, you know, so, and that's no different than yesterday or last week or the week before. So when you want to play good football, it's got to be complementary. You got to play together.
Matt, even though you guys were trailing by 2 or more scores for most of the game, DJ only got 2 targets in the second half. Why was it so difficult to get him involved last night?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the tape, there was some tops. You know, they put a guy under and a guy on top of him quite a few times, and you know, so when you do that, you know, you got to go other spots, and we did a good job of going other spots, and certainly got the ball to the tight ends a lot yesterday and the running backs, which is great. You know, because a lot of those are catch and runs, and you got a lot of hidden yards in there. And you know, those quarterbacks do that. All the great ones have always done that. Check it down to those guys, and you certainly saw it, you know, in the game with New Orleans, and you know, and the Colts did the same thing. So it's a viable way to get the passing game going.
How did the Lucas injury come up yesterday morning?
Yeah, so he woke up with it. You know, he woke up with it, and you know, he got the treatment before the game, and it was just a back spasm, you know, in there, and they treated it. Again, our staff did a really good job getting him ready for the game, and he played.
What would you have done if he would have been unable to go? Who's your backup center?
Hypotheticals, I'm not going there. Come on. All right.
Who's your backup? That's not hypothetical.
Yeah.
Then on Bajan's first interception, what was supposed to happen on that play? What was kind of the miscommunication with DJ and Darnell that left side there?
Yeah, he's just got to get the ball in the flat. That's all. I think it was Mooney in the flat, right? Yep.
Thanks, Ben.
All right.